We are continuing on with lesson 4.4, which is working with solving algebraic inequalities. So we're on day 2, where we have started to work with multiplication and division. So I have 2 quick examples first on the board that are just reminders to you about when you should and should not reverse the symbol or reverse the inequality symbol. So if you look at the example I have to the left, we have negative 5x is greater than 10. Just as we did with algebraic equalities or algebraic equations, we need to get x by itself. So what we would do in order to get x by itself is to divide both sides by negative 5. That's the inverse of multiplying by negative 5. Our negative 5's will cancel each other out. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we would bring down our x on the left-hand side. 10 divided by negative 5 gives us a negative 2. And then what we said in class today is now you need to ask yourself a question. Do I flip or do I reverse the sign? Remember the rule is whenever you multiply or divide by a negative, that is when you flip the sign. So we did divide by a negative, negative 5, so our greater than symbol now becomes less than. That will give us the solution set for the value of x. If you look at the problem to the right, it's the exact same problem, but I switched which number I had the negative on. So now we have 5x is greater than 10. Do the same thing, solve for x. So in order to get x by itself, we would divide by 5. Those will cancel out on both sides of the inequality. Left-hand side, that leaves us with x. On the right-hand side, negative 10 divided by 5 is going to give us a negative 2. Question you need to ask yourself again, did I divide or did I multiply or divide by a negative? In this case, we didn't. We divided by a positive. The number you're actually dividing, that does not matter whether it's positive or negative. It is what you are dividing by. So we divided by a positive 5, which means we do not reverse the sign, so our sign remains the same. X is greater than negative 2. Let's look at one last example, a little more involved. You'll have some problems that you're doing tonight that are very similar to this. So we have negative 2a plus 3 is less than negative 7 minus a. Very first step, get your a's together. We have negative 2a on the left, we have negative a on the right. We always say in class that we move the smaller one. So negative 2a is actually smaller, so I am going to do the opposite and add 2a. Those cancel out, add 2a over here. Now we bring everything down that we haven't used. So I still have 3 on the left-hand side. The inequality remains the same. You never flip the sign when you're dealing with addition or subtraction. Negative 7 we haven't used, bring that down. And then negative a and a positive 2a just gives me a positive a, so plus a. Now I need to get a by itself. I have negative 7 on the same side, so we do the opposite. We add 7 to both sides of the inequality. So these will cancel each other out. Add 7 over here. That gives us 3 plus 7, which equals 10. Bring down your inequality symbol, and then bring down your a. Realize here, I didn't flip the sign because I wasn't doing multiplication or division at the end. Again, you only multiply or divide. You only flip the sign when you multiply or divide by a negative. Remember, we've also said in class, a lot of times we prefer to have the variable first. So if I do that, I can flip the a and the 10, which also means I'm going to flip the inequality symbol.